Alright class, here we are at simplifying algebraic expressions. Make sure you take really good notes. This is where kids can sometimes fall apart. Alright, so our objectives are to simplify algebraic expressions in one variable and recognize that the expression obtained after simplifying is equivalent to the original expression. Alright, more vocabulary words. You need to make sure that you have all of this written down in your notes, so you need to pause it. Simplify means to write an algebraic expression by combining like terms. Coefficient is the numerical factor in a term of an algebraic expression. For example, in the term 8z, the coefficient of z is 8. Like terms are terms that have the same variable with the same corresponding exponents. For example, in the expression 2x plus 4 plus x plus 1, the terms 2x and x are like terms, as are 4 and 1. That's going to be really important today. Equivalent expression are expressions that are equal for all values of the variables. For example, 2x plus x and 3x are equivalent expressions because 2x plus x is equal to 3x for all values of x. So in other words, it doesn't matter what we substitute for x, we'll still get the same thing for 2x plus x and 3x. Alright, so let's go ahead and start talking about simplifying an algebraic expression. Right here it says a straw of length y inches is joined to another straw of the same length. So if it's the same length, then it is also y inches. What is the total length of the two straws? Well, here you just have a y plus y situation. Well, y plus y is the same thing as 2 times y, so I would just call this 2y. And those are equivalent because no matter what, we could say that y is equal to 4. And here we would have 4 plus 4 is 8, but also 2 times 4 is also 8. So it doesn't matter, these are equivalent no matter what we substitute in for y. Alright, and then this next one says each side of an equilateral triangle has a length of p centimeters. So if it's equilateral, all the sides are equal, and they have a length of p centimeters. It says find the perimeter of the triangle in terms of p and state the coefficient. So right here, if all the sides are the same, then this is p plus p plus p. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify it because I know that p plus p plus p is the same thing as 3 times p, or 3p. Alright, so now guys, it says to state the coefficient. Now you guys wrote down in your notes that the coefficient is the numerical value that's attached to the variable. So in here, the coefficient, we'll call it the COE, or COEF. The coefficient is 3. Alright, let's look at another one. This says, what is the length of the rod? State the terms and the coefficient of the expression. So if we want to know the length of the whole rod, we've got to add up all those different lengths. So here I have z plus z plus z plus z plus 2 plus 5. So I'm going to do z plus z plus z plus z plus 2 plus 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify my expression. Okay? Now, all of these variables are considered like terms. They're the exact same variable and they don't have any exponents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine them because I know that z plus z plus z plus z is the same thing as 4 times z. So I'm going to make this 4z. Alright, but I cannot add 2 to 4z because 2 doesn't have a variable. It's just a regular number, or what we would call a constant. So I can't add it to 4z, but since 2 and 5 both, neither one have a variable attached, I can combine 2 plus 5. So in other words, I would turn this into 4z plus 7. And I cannot combine 7 and 4z because they have a variable. One has a variable and one doesn't. Those are not like terms. All right, and now it also told us to state the terms and the coefficient. So the terms of our expression are 4z and 7. Those are our terms. But the coefficient is our numerical value attached to our variable. So our coefficient is 4. All right, so for guided practice, I want you guys to go ahead and try to simplify each expression, then state the coefficient of the variable. Don't forget that part. Now, these are all the same variables, but the problem is that with PowerPoint, you cannot not capitalize the first letter. It makes you capitalize it. But pretend that the first letter of all of those is lowercase, and go ahead and simplify each expression and see if you can get these right. So first of all, I have x plus x plus x plus x plus x. So that's the same thing as 5 times x, or 5x. The next one I have y plus 6. Now I can go ahead and combine y plus y to be 2y, but I cannot combine 6 with it, so I'm just going to say 2y plus 6. All right, on the next one I have m plus m plus m, and I can combine those to be 3m, but I cannot combine 5 and 4 to 3m, but I can combine those together, and I know that 5 plus 4 is 9. So I'm going to make that 3m plus 9. And then for my last one, I have n plus n plus n plus n plus n plus n. So that is 6n. And I cannot combine 12 or 8, but I can do 12 minus 8. And 12 minus 8 is 4. All right, so some more guided practice. Go ahead and write these down and copy that picture. It says a square has a length of x centimeters. The square has sides of length x centimeters. So first of all, we know a square, all 4 sides are the same. And we know that this is x centimeters. They want us to find the perimeter of the square in terms of x. That should be an I, not an O. All right, so to find perimeter, I know that I add up all the sides together. So this is x plus x plus x plus x, which that would be the same thing as 4x. So the perimeter of my square is 4x, and my coefficient would be what? 4. The next one says the figure shows a trapezoid. The length of each side is given as shown. Find the perimeter in terms of w. So again, for the perimeter, I have to add up all the sides. So this is w plus w plus w plus w. Oh wait, that's too many w's. So now it's just plus 10 centimeters. So to find the perimeter, I'm just going to go ahead and combine my like terms and say the perimeter is 3w plus 10. All right, we're going to do a little bit more practice on some combining like terms. So I'm going to show you guys some of this, and then here in a second we'll practice. So on the left-hand side, we're going to go ahead and just stick with addition first. It says to simplify 3x plus x. Well, if I have 3x and I add another x, I have 4x. And then it tells us to simplify 4z plus 2z, and those are like terms. They still have a variable. So that's going to be 6z. Next, they're asking us, are the pairs of expressions equivalent? So here I have 3a and a plus a plus a plus a. Well, if I simplify this expression here, I get 3a. So are 3a and a plus a plus a equivalent? Yes, they are. All right, the next one has 6z plus 4z and 10z plus 2z. So I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms here. So 6z plus 4z is 10z. And 10z plus 2z is 12z. So no, those are not equivalent. And then let's look at this last one. It says 3n plus 2 plus 4n and 2 plus 7n. So what I'm going to do is I have 3n and I have 4n, and I can combine those. So I have 7n plus 2. And over here I have 2 plus 7n. Can we add in any direction and it still be equivalent? Yes, we can. So yes, these are equivalent expressions. So let's go ahead and look over at the right-hand side at subtraction. It says simplify 2v minus v. Well, if I have 2v and I take away a v, I just have 1v left. But I'm just going to call it v. So guys, you don't usually put a 1 in front of your variable because having just the variable there indicates that there's at least 1. We only put a number on it if it's more than 1. Alright, so the next one says simplify 5w minus 2w. So if I have 5w and I take away 2w, I have 3w left. And then the last one says simplify y minus y. Well, that's going to be 0, just like any other number. Alright, and so next they want to know, are the pairs of expressions equivalent? They have f minus 6 and 6 minus f. Can we subtract in any direction and still get the same answer? No, so those are not equivalent. And the next one says 5c minus c and a minus a. Are those equivalent? Well, 5c minus 5c is 0, and a minus a is 0, so yes, they are. Alright, so I want you guys to go ahead and practice. Remember on these first two, it just automatically capitalizes that first one. So go ahead and pause it and see how you guys do. The first one is u plus u plus u plus u, which makes that 4u. The next one is v plus 5 minus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and combine v plus v and say that's 2v plus whatever 5 minus 2 is. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So I have 2v plus 3. The next one has 3p minus 2p plus 5p. So they're starting to get tricky on you. So I know that 3p minus 2p gives me just p plus another 5p. So p plus 5p is 6p. Alright, and last but not least, number 4. I have 2p plus 3p plus 4p plus 5p minus 6p minus 7p. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from the left and work my way right. So I have 2p plus 3p, which is 5p, plus 4p, which is 9p, plus 5p, so 9p plus 5p, that's 14p. 14p minus 6p. So if I have 14p and I take away 6, that's 8p minus 7p, which gives me just 1p or p. So that's our answer for number 4. Alright, more guided practice. Make sure you write these down. It says state whether each pair of expressions are equivalent or not equivalent. That should say or, not of. Alright, so the first one has 5x and x plus 3x. So guys, if I take this expression and I do 3x plus x, I get 5x. So yes, number 1, those are equivalent. Number 2 has 4y plus 2y plus y and 5y plus y. Well, if I simplify that, I have 4y plus 2y, which is 6y, and 6y plus another y is 7y. And then here I have 5y plus y, which is 6y. So no, they are not equivalent. All right, number 3, I have 2z plus 5, and I have z plus 8 plus z minus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do z plus z and make that 2z plus 8 minus 3, and 8 minus 3 is 5, and so yes, these are equivalent. And the last one I have 2w minus 5 and 5 minus 2w. Now remember our rules. Is subtraction commutative? Can you put it in any order? No, and because of that, no, these are not going to be equivalent. Alright guys, so that is it. We are going to practice a lot on simplifying algebraic expressions, so make sure you write down any questions that you have and make sure you know those vocabulary words.